it! Surrender!
Hi there guys, I wanted to do something a little different today. I haven't been able to go Airsoft for a little while. We were meant to go today, but the game was cancelled, so I thought I'd make a video just to have some sort of gap filler. So for something different, I thought I'd talk about the gear I wear. It's nothing that anyone's requested, I just thought I'd do that. So I'll go through the gear I do. I'll do several videos. One of them being my gear, the weapons I use, and I might do a camera setup, but I'm not 100% sure on that one yet. But anyway, we'll get straight to it then. So here we have a setup of practically all my gear, and I'll go through them individually. I'll try to remember best. Some of this is quite old stuff, considering I started up about 3 years ago now, so I don't remember all of it and the brands, but I'll try my best to remember. So we'll start off with my main piece, like the centre bit of my gear. It's not the most important for the sport, but it's what I see as the main piece. We have my plate carrier. I'll go through what's on it, the brand. Now, this plate carrier here is an 8 fields plate carrier. I got this one from, I believe, Taiwan Gun. I got a lot of stuff actually imported my gear rather than from local retailers, such as in Britain. But on it, I have modified it slightly, changed it around. There's some pouches that were on there that I've put elsewhere. So obviously at the top I have my radio pouch, which rarely gets used because I don't have a decent radio. We have at the front a triple M4 mag pouch, which I store quite a lot of stuff. It can be from gas to BBs. And then I have 3 double M4 magazine pouches on it, being one on the back. Now, not all these get used, but sometimes they do. If I'm carrying a little bit extra stuff, I don't necessarily just put M4 mags in it. I have quite a large speed loader for my mid-cap magazines, which I use. I have this is meant to be a universal, I believe it's meant to be a utility pouch, which I've placed on the back just to carry extra stuff, not necessarily mine. And then I have my hydration kit here. It's meant to hold, I believe, 2 litres, whether it does or not, because the actual thing inside is a lot bigger than the outside. I have a grenade pouch here just for smoke grenades, and this is not 8 fields compared to the rest of the other stuff. This is, I believe it's MFH, dump pouch for my mid caps and when I use gas guns, rather than placing them back into my pouch because they take way too long to do that. And moving on, here we have a Miltech US assault bag. I believe it is 30 litres. This is one of my older ones. It's quite big, as you can see. I don't actually wear it that often. Generally I just use it to hold stuff, but I did use it in National Airsoft event when I had to carry not only my ammo but some other people's, and I do use it every now and again, especially when we're carrying extra recording equipment for Airsoft. So it's been good. I have no plan of switching this out. It's not something I regularly use. It can be quite heavy, so I tend to keep it back with all the other stuff. Here we have another 8 fields piece, the Universal Typhoon holster. It's a leg holster. I am planning on possibly switching it out But the reason I use a universal is because I've had several sidearms, and I currently only own one, but I did have two at one point, which I got rid of quite quickly. I find it quite handy because for my height it is perfect for me to reach down to my sidearm. Sometimes it's a little bit, the problem with it I have is with my main sidearm, which is not in it currently. It gets stuck when I try to pull it out. It gets caught on the edge right here, which is slightly annoying, but not a huge problem. Okay, I'm going to go through a few pieces in this one, just to speed it up a little bit. Here we have my X Wiley gloves. They are Kevlar. They were quite pricey, but they are very comfortable and they do the job they're meant to do. I used to not use gloves, and on the rare occasion you do get hit in the finger or your hand, I mean, it does quite hurt, especially when you shatter your nails and things like that, but it's not a huge problem. I have quite a thick thermal insulated balaclava, which I only use during the winter as it is way too hot, as I've learnt. During any type of springy or even autumn weather it can be way too hot. Moving on, I have my helmet. It's just a cheap black helmet. I can't even remember the brand at all because it's an old one, and I've just shoved a Flecktarn cover over the top. It's an ex-German military one, so it's genuine, and I've just cut through it to put the what's meant to be a replica night vision mount. Not that I'd ever use that, to mount my GoPro, which is my main camera source for all of the airsoft stuff. Coming to the end of my gear, we're going to cover clothing. Now, I generally wear Miltech clothing, and I believe all my original gear was Miltech, including the small assault vest I use, which I still have. It's black, so it's in with my urban set, which I won't cover in this video because we don't use it, and it is for an indoor environment or nights because it's black. But that is all Miltech, and it's another Under Armour shirt, which I'll cover on this. Anyway, in front of you we have a pair of Miltech Warrior trousers with the built-in knee pads. The reason I went for these, I never used to. I've had two pairs of normal Miltech trousers, but I wear knee pads because I generally hit the floor quite quickly, and it does knacker my knees in from my old job, which I used to do, which I was on my knees. Oh god, that sounds so wrong. But I generally find they're a lot easier. They don't fall down, you don't have to pay any extra. They're just sitting there. I have no problems with that. Obviously on my belt I do hold a few things. That's just for my pistol. I have my double pistol bag pouch on the back. I do plan to put on one more pouch. I'm not sure what though, because I think it'll be another pistol one. And I have another utility pouch like the one on my plate carrier. Behind it we have another Miltech item, which is the Under Armour shirt, which I already mentioned that I have in black. Now, I generally find this material quite good, especially during warmer weathers. And the seasons like summer and that, you will be sweating quite a lot. It's going to be quite hot. You're still going to want to wear your plate carrier, or some people have lighter ones which they wear, but regardless there's a lot of breathing in this, but it's no good for actually giving you any resistance against BBs, and you'll find if you wear it without it you will have a very painful experience in CQB. But yeah, that is basically all my gear. I've mentioned that I have black gear, I have gun bags. I haven't covered eye protection because it's just a standard pair of mesh goggles that I use. I did switch to goggles, they kept steaming up, so it was pointless. That pretty much sums up the gear I wear. Now, I haven't gone into much detail with anything because I'm just showing you what I use and the main brand I use. Advice for anybody who might want to buy this gear is reasonably cheap, not extremely cheap, but it is a mid-range price, it's affordable, and I've had no problems with it personally. There are obviously cons in that to everything you buy, so you may lose out, if the less you play you may lose out on quality, or the colour might fade quickly, but that's basically it. Anyway, unfortunately this video isn't that interesting and I apologise for that. We will have an actual skirmish video up hopefully next week, because we will be going next week unless events hit the worst. So that will be up. We're planning on doing sniper videos in the future, and I will be reviewing some of the guns I use at some point, and some of the ones in the team, to give some honest feedback, pros and cons on them, and the price, whether they're worth it or not. Unfortunately right now I don't have the accessibility to a site to do that, so I've just had to make this video. But I appreciate everyone who's watching this, and I appreciate everyone for subscribing, so thank you very much.